out some local color through the magic of AM radio.
Harkens me back to my youthful, careful days on the playgrounds of Forest Park School and my gifted days.
And what you're gifted, all right. What were you gifted at?
Well, I guess I had some issues.
Detention?
Yeah. When my dad told me I wouldn't plan on going to Harvard anytime real soon.
You're going to have to get in touch with me. We're gonna link all the volunteers via satellite cell phone so that we can put out the message immediately, because you remember the problem we had in January. We had to have Governor Walker come in with the National Guard. It was horrible.
Steve, listen to me. Bring your own microphone because you lost this one.
Okay, Captain Ron, you've been doing this so well for the last few weeks. So go ahead and make my day.
Oh, great one with the magic pen.
Oh, boy, he wants that microphone forever, doesn't he? Now, you got to visualize it. We put a statue of Pete on this. Put him wearing like a hard hat and flannel shirt, tool belt, snow shovel.
You mean like from the Village people?
Yeah, yeah, a couple.
Now, wait a minute here.
Happy New Year, everybody. This is Uncle Scotty Barter, and welcome to the January 2nd edition of the Kenosha Today Weekly Report, coming to you live from Studio A here at WIP AM 1050 on your radio dial, streaming worldwide and booming across the cold and crisp cornfields of the Midwest, reaching out to over 50,000 homes here in the Tri-County area. Being brought to you this morning by our major sponsors, the Boathouse Pub and Eatery, and a host of other very fine local businesses. Little Stevie is away on assignment this morning. However, with the A-Team this morning, our video coordinator, Channel 14's Trooper of the Year, Captain Ron, joins us here at Crime Square.
Don't touch myself.
Don't stop. Crime Square. That's what we call it, Crime Square. And there's even more boys and girls engineering the Kenosha State train wreck this morning. WIP's six-time Employee of the Month. Also is celebrating his 10-year anniversary.
10 years of paid service here at WIP.
Also the head writer and advisor for Steve Harvey, I understand.
Oh, there it is.
How's that working out for you?
That's kind of scary.
Yeah,
that make you want to stay in your house and lock your doors.
Coming up right after our first break at 10:30, the Kenosha's fastest-growing game show sensation, the lightning round of City in Jeopardy trivia game sponsored by the House of Gerhard's Restaurant. And then, after the 11 o'clock break, this week's top 10 list, written in our home office on the deck of the Boathouse Pub and Eatery, this week's thought-provoking category, the top 10 Kenosha Today New Year's resolutions.
Oh, boy.
I wouldn't go that far. But
Oh, man. Can't
actually,
wait.
we have a great show planned for all our listeners.
Starting off the new year with a lie, huh? That's
Burlington Liars Club.
Jeez.
I got to get to that. But, at least, Ronnie, when we had our production meeting yesterday afternoon, and
That was the best one I think we ever had.
And without the adult beverages, we'll see how this works out.
Okay.
We got a number of topics, 262-694-1050. And, hey, there's even more good news, boys and girls, tomorrow at noon. Each and every Sunday, you can tune in here at WIP AM 1050 and listen to the replay of this show.
Why?
And then you can watch the replay of this finely tuned, professionally produced Excuse for Radio show on Time Warner Cable's Channel 14 on Tuesdays at 5 p.m., Wednesdays at 5 p.m., and...
The media's making a monster out of you because they don't care about the truth. All they care about is entertainment. Well, you need a forum where they don't even know the meaning of the word entertainment. Public access television.
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
It's too good to ever let that go.
We're talking about starting the year with a lie. This is the guy that wins the Burlington Liars Club. It's 72-year-old Gene O'Brien. He was talking, he had a quip about marriage. And he wins the top prize. He says, I grew up in a family with 16 children, and I never actually got to sleep alone until I got married. So, I thought that was...
Wow.
We're going to be talking a bunch of politics as we go through the next couple months, and I do want to tell our listeners, I just want to make it clear that the Kenosha Today Show will not be endorsing any candidate for public office, and I don't personally feel that's our purpose here. And unlike the Kenosha News, who seems to think that they are the political geniuses in town who endorse candidates, and we're not going to try to manufacture news. So some of the things we talk about, as you know, might be a stretch, but I'm sure you can figure it all out. However, instead, our purpose is to provide you with the facts politically as we get to talking about aldermen, and they're supposed to be turning in all their signatures. I believe it's Wednesday the 5th. I think it's by 5 o'clock. And I actually think the people in this community are very intelligent when it comes to what they want, what they don't want. And so,
That's your opinion.
well, no, I think they are. I mean,
They tuned into this show.
now I got to say another disclaimer, right? Having said that, we got a number of topics. First thing I got to do is I want to send our condolences to the family of Brad Jewell, who passed away unexpectedly on Monday, December 28th. And he had his own radio show here, sports talk show with Jewell on Sports at WIP. Any age is tough, but 48 is maybe even a little tougher. So our condolences go out to Brad Jewell's family. And also I want to congratulate two people. Judy Rusow, who was chosen Kenosha News Person of the Year, 39 nominations. But this, I don't necessarily always agree with the Kenosha News, but this case I really did. She's been involved in Rotary, Bowls and Books, Pollard Gallery, Arts Funds, Momo Meals, County Board Supervisor, Kemper Center, Rhodey Opera House, Lakeside Players, Lakeshore Business, Harbor Side Businessmen's Association, Meals on Wheels, Anderson Arts Center, Kenosha Civic Parade. So I applaud her, and I also applaud the Kenosha News for selecting her. It's honor well deserved. And my good friend Frank Miserelli retired at the age of 85 from the Kenosha News. 64 years with the news.
Wow.
You think you got 10 big ones, Pete. 64. Can you imagine you being here another 54?
I can't imagine doing this for another 54 years.
Months or...
Well,
But I think Frank has done a great job in all his endeavors. He was very involved with the Goodfellows and late Howard Brown and George Pollard and getting that and continuing it. So I hope he stays involved somewhat. But, I guess at 85, I wouldn't... If it was me, I'd be down in a warm climate drinking cocktails out of tall glasses and umbrellas. In fact, I might do that this afternoon. I'm not going to wait. I'm going to beat the rush.
A warm climate? Where are you going to find that around here?
But don't touch that stuff.
Yeah, don't be touching that stuff. Some of the topics we'll take your calls on. The big storm that we had a week ago Monday, and that just caused tremendous amount of problems. This was an article, it was in the paper. Pete, that was our district, that this was in the 4900 block in 24th place. And the problem was that they didn't start plowing the side streets until they had 4 inches.
Yeah, I heard that they sent the plow drivers home at midnight and didn't start again until 7 o'clock that later that morning.
Well,
and we know that there's the 4-inch rule, but the problem is there's difference between the 4 inches of the white fluffy stuff.
Yeah.
And what we got the other day, which was 4 inches with a lot of moisture in there. So a little more discretion maybe from the
common
powers that
sense,
be.
yeah. I mean, if they were out doing the streets.
Dry as a bone.
Yeah, but but
not
you
the
could
side
not get through any of those side streets. So if you have a story to tell us, 262-694-1050, which leads me to another one that my good friend Greg from Kenosha called in a couple weeks ago. He had some problems with snow plowing on his street, and he lives across from a park, and he wanted to know why they weren't going to plow that. I got an answer for that, and then he apparently had 3 alternate side parking tickets within just a matter of a couple weeks. I got an answer for that.
By the way,
I got an answer for everything this morning.
It should only be alternate side parking after 4 inches, right? Because if they're not, but I'm not saying it is. I'm saying if you're not going to send a plow until there's 4 inches, why do I have to park on the other side of the street?
You go, Pete.
And they did not call a citywide
no
snow emergency till after it was too late. God, we got to do all the thinking, get down there, and I wonder how our crew did. I haven't heard back from Dale, and they still haven't found Donut Dave. He was out there since October 28th. There's probably some SUV out there with it's all fogged up.
He's on an ice drift somewhere in the retention pond,
and he's out of vodka, and his wife hasn't called in a missing persons report. So I'm not suggesting that she doesn't care where he is, but if you've seen a guy out there that looks lonely and completely sober, we better call him, because if we lost him in October, I can't imagine we're going to find him by Easter. So anyway,
by Easter,
Greg, if you're listening, I do have some answers to your snow plowing questions. I promised you I would, and then I also have a couple questions and suggestions on how to beat the alternate side parking scam. I guess it would be a scam.
Park in the driveway.
You know what?
It is a scam. Alternate side parking has always been a scam, but it makes the city money. That's why it has nothing to do with the logic of how we do the snow plowing in the city. It has to do with how many tickets they can write.
You know,
and it's everybody who sits by idly on it should be ashamed of themselves.
I checked this out just so people don't know that I make everything up. This is facts. In 2014, parking violations generated almost $380,000 of revenue to the city of Kenosha, and in the 2016 proposed budget, they anticipate $415,000 of revenue going into the general fund. So, I guess they don't have to worry about that. Just keep the alternate side parking going, keep the steady flow of income coming in.
Well, that's what it is.
I mean, and for those people that want to give to charities, I think, the city of Kenosha is a charity. So I don't know that you can deduct it on your taxes. But $415, that's quite a bit more than I had anticipated. Yeah. So if you have a comment about that.
You could almost send out a snowplow for that amount. I'm just saying. We do a lot of laughing about the snow plowing, and it started because of a half inch in a particular district. But really, the other day, they should have been out plowing all night, 4 inches or not. Pete,
having we've been at this about 2 years now, and we started in November 1st, and within 30 days, we were all over that snow issue on the 17th district. I think this is God's way of punishing us. He's going to say, you boys in the 5th district, you take this. And I wouldn't be surprised if the alderman from the 17th loaded up a bunch of trucks and came and purposely dumped it on our district. This is upset us.
All I know is it took me 15 minutes to get out of my cul-de-sac.
Well, my newspaper couldn't get out. I mean, there was nobody going anywhere. I said, if it was fluffy, it would be a different thing.
Which, by the way, when I used to deliver the newspaper, and there would be whether Scott Barter would be the top name for having called in and saying, I didn't get my newspaper today. So...
well, not to disappoint you, Pete, but I did call in about 7 o'clock.
Good. How times have changed. But anyway.
Well, nobody was going anywhere, and if I was the delivery boy, I didn't get my, or delivery person, I should say. Nobody in our subdivision got paper still like 5 o'clock. That's a good morning paper when you get it at 5 p.m.
The Kenosha Evening News.
Kenosha Evening News revisited, right?
Used to be evening.
So I would be delighted to listen to some calls from our listeners about their experiences with the snow. Also, my good friend Pickleball John called in on our last show a couple weeks ago and wanted to know how the plans for the Burma Road project to fix that up. Burma Road is the 27th Street that actually sits in Summers between 30th Avenue and 39th.
It's not in the B. It's a B section of Summers.
Right now, it's going down the crapper.
I know that. No, but now there's the. It's confusing.
I've got a plan for that, Pickleball. If you're listening, so good morning. You're on Kenosha today.
Good morning.
Speaking of confusion.
Thanks, Pete.
No problem. Happy New Year, Shirley.
Yeah. Happy New Year. That's what I called. Happy New Year.
Well, we heard you had quite a New Year's Eve bash in your driveway, in your garage, and I don't know. We don't condone this behavior here on this show, but we sent one of our staffers out there to, get us some audio of this. Hey, man, this is troubling and disturbing. That's all I can say. Pete?
Pants on the ground, looking like a fool with your pants on the ground, with the gold in your mouth, head turned sideways, pants hit the ground, call yourself a cool cat, looking like a fool, walking downtown with your pants on the ground, giddy up, hey, get your pants off the ground.
Yeah, that was good in my driveway.
That's quite a dance that Gary was doing, though.
Yeah,
right.
I don't know, Shirley, you're setting a tone for a lot of different vibes here,
Well, we did have a little party.
I know.
New Year's Eve, and it was very nice.
Now, how does, other than this song and some of your friends over there dancing in your driveway right outside the garage where you house all your pot, how does one celebrate New Year's Eve at Shirley's house?
Well, I just had some company, and we had food, and We listened to music, and we just had a good time.
Oh, jeez. Let it all out, Shirley. Almighty.
Glenn Miller Orchestra.
Now, how long?
We had some rum chata.
Yeah. How long did this, what time did you wrap this up? About 6?
Yeah. So I was, rum chata, I was up till 2 in the morning.
Whoa, she beat me.
Yeah, at least 2.
Do you get the gallon of boxed rum chata?
Yes.
You know, just because these are your special friends, right?
Yep.
Okay.
My special friend.
Yeah, it's on the back wall of the store.
So now, actually, it's probably on sale $3.99 a gallon, right?
Well, that's why Shirley got it.
Yeah.
The Shirley special.
With a coupon. Now, we've got a couple events looking forward to. We've Ron and I had a production meeting yesterday afternoon, and we were looking forward to Groundhog's Day coming up on February 2nd. And we're trying to work on Puxatawny Phil. Who was it, Ronnie, that's coming in? Puxatawny Phil or Putsatawny Phil? Putz, yeah. And then, of course, we've got the big Valentine's special coming up in mid-February, so.
That's a little ways off. Everybody rushes everything.
Yeah.
They rush everything. Christmas starts in August. I just don't get it.
Trust me, if we had Valentine's songs, we'd be playing them now.
I know.
And all we're left with, Shirley, all we're left with instead of Valentine's songs now.
Pants on the ground.
That's just what we're left with.
Looking like a fool.
This is kind of a Valentine's song.
Yeah, with the gold in your mouth, hat turned sideways, pan hit the ground. Call yourself a cool cat, looking like a fool. Walking downtown with your pants on the ground. Get it up. Get your pants on the ground. Looking like a fool. Talking with your pants on the ground.
What says I love you more than that?
Yep, I had some company that was doing that. Yeah. Pants on the ground.
Well, you might want to choose your friends a little more carefully.
Yeah, I think so.
Did you get shoveled out?
Yes.
Oh, you did?
We had nothing. We had no trouble at all. I'm just saying the city did really great for us. The plows were good. We had no trouble at all.
But you're on a main drag in Kenosha, though, aren't you?
Well, not really. There's, a side street.
When Pete says main drag, he's meaning about something completely different.
Okay.
I was trying to roll it into something serious here.
I got it.
Well, your alderman's Mr. Wickland, and he's all over this, and so our alderman is Mr. Lamanki, and I guess we're going to have a word with him because it wasn't pretty.
His Facebook page was exploding, as was our subdivision's Facebook group. Scott, which I'm sure you're not a part of. But,
I get it.
you do? Okay.
I just don't. We have does your subdivision or area have a Facebook page? First of all, you got a computer.
Me? Yeah. Yes, I do.
Do you know? Are you on Facebook?
I certainly am.
What's your handle? What's your handle there?
Well, my husband and I both our names.
Oh, that's something tricky.
He wanted. It's both our names on it. So yeah, we're on it.
Well, here's what we surmise, that because of all the trouble we gave the 17th district, that they actually loaded up all their snow, put it in trucks, and put it over into the 5th district. That's what we think happened. Right, Pete? I don't
know what happened, but
that's the only thing I can come up with. It happened. So, all right, Shirley. Well,
can I just say this quick? I'm very sorry about Brad Jewell.
Yeah, we all are. That's
I know. He was such a great talent. It's just unbelievable. I'm just my condolences to his family.
Very good, Shirley. We appreciate it.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, dear.
Yeah. Talk to you later.
All right. We're talking about a number of topics. Of pickleball, John, we want to talk to you because we do have some solutions to the Burma Road project. We do have some solutions. Apparently, Pete, we talked about community watchdogs. They have some. They've come out. The city's come out with some pretty strict training requirements if you want to be a community watchdog, so we can address that. And Greg from Kenosha, he's got he had a snowplowing question because he lives across from a park, and he also had some questions on, he received 3 no parking, or alternate side parking tickets, so we got that we can help him out with. I better read a sponsor here, Pete, before we get down.
Yeah.
Wish him well wherever he is, if he's, wherever he is. Got it. He's probably down on the beach in Fort Myers again.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably the deal.
Eating a meatloaf sandwich.
Eating a meatloaf sandwich.
I got sunburnt.
Yeah. The doctor said I had to have more sun.
Yeah.
So, coming up after the 10:30 break, we will be playing City in Jeopardy, sponsored by Gerhard's Restaurant. And another topic that was in today's paper, actually, it was in a week or so ago, the city council is going to take up this petition to authorize 200,000 square feet box-type projects. It's going to go to the city council on Monday. And it's really unfortunate. There's 8 people. The way this is by Highway N, and across the street from Amazon, up by the airport there. And there's 8 people that still reside in Summers. And I really feel bad for them because they probably lived there for 20, 30 years or longer. And now all of a sudden, because of all the development, they're going to get landlocked in here. And so 8 neighboring Summers homeowners are going to try to fight City Hall, meaning this petition says for the city to go through with this, 75% of the quorum has to okay it. Now, I feel, like I said, I feel bad, but if I was these folks, here's the way I see this. They are in Summers, and you're going to deal with the city of Kenosha. First of all, they pay taxes to Summers. The city of Kenosha is going to say, what do I care about you? And what do I care if you're in Summers? Because you can't vote for me anyway. So what's the difference? And I guess, and I'll throw this out to our listeners, and call me back after the break. I think if it was me, I'd get a lawyer, and the next person that crosses the state line looking to develop something, I'd say, hey, buy me out, right? And look what here's a good example. The Tunkeys Farm on the north side of 142, right as you come across the bridge, sold for $1 million, 2 or 3. And granted, there was a lot of farmland there, but this is prime area in this particular location out by Amazon, Gordon Foods, the airport, and Uline owns some other property in that little quadrant. I believe that's on the other side of the interstate. I mean, it's a way of the world, and I'd relocate.
Is that one of these remnant areas of Summers that are sort of landlocked, but they're going to be in Kenosha eventually? They're not there yet?
No, they will automatically come into the city.
In 2035,
2035.
Right? Yeah.
Now, they can come anytime they want. And I feel very bad for these folks, but if the inevitable is coming, I might as well try to make some money.
Yep.
And for what these guys are going to do and what they're putting up, this is chump change to them to get them to move.
Good idea. Just buy me out.
Buy me out. Yeah. Send me packing. You get a lawyer, and maybe you can get more than. Like I said, the Tunkeys Farm. Now, granted but that's right prime area, right on 142. Now they built that warehouse on spec, and that's what this developer originally was going to do with this property, but he decided to build it to suit rather than on speculation. But even so, that the size of that warehouse on 142 in the Tunkeys Farm property, they built that on spec, so they're anticipating this area is going to, fill up with developers. So you got a big box ordinance coming, and if you have a call, give us.
What do you think about the big box ordinance, Scott? You for it? Putting the big box stores
actually
east of Green Bay Road on the state trunk highways?
You know what they used to call this?
It's going to be next week's top 10 list, right?
No. This used to be called the... Back in 2007, this used to be called the Screw Walmart Plan.
Yes, well, it's still the Screw Walmart Plan.
I mean, let's face it, they created an ordinance to keep Walmart from building. Initially, they were going to go to on the Bonnie Hames site.
Yep.
And then they worked out a deal. They were going to go to Terabasi's place down on the south side. So Pick and Save comes in, and they wanted Pick and Save to go someplace else. So they created this, phantom ordinance to fit, and so now it's time to revisit it because there's a lot of developers who want to come back in, and like Myers, for example,
want to spend money, but want to do so in bigger buildings.
And
but there's again, this is no secret that Walmart wants to come into Kenosha. So if they change this ordinance, say Monday night, I don't know if they could do it to how many votes, but they take it up Monday night, it passes. Does that automatically mean Walmart comes in? Because I know that there's some people sitting on the council saying, boy, if we allow this, is Walmart a short step away?
That presents a good issue, and we can talk more after the break. This was not supposed to be against Walmart as a company. It was supposed to be against 200,000 square foot big box.
But
it didn't end up that way. But
there's a little bit of cloak and dagger going on here. It is specifically Walmart is looking to get in. We know that.
Yeah, but I don't know exactly where that would go. To if Walmart's going to build, they're going to build a 200,000 square foot or better, like they did in Summers.
Yes.
I don't know where
they want south side. They want Sheridan Road.
Ooh.
They wanted to go on the Keno side. Remember?
Yeah.
Oh, that I forgot about that.
And Pleasant Prairie said, no.
Yeah, big
so,
that.
Yeah.
Well, there's still land down there in Sheridan Road. My personal view is I don't think there's enough traffic to warrant down there, but I'll leave that up. But that would be Alderman Rosenberg's district that sits across, on north of, what is that, 93rd? Or something, close down there.
Yep.
That's where his district starts, and we'd have to see if... See, I often thought back in 2007, most of the opposition was against Walmart as a company, not necessarily as the big box thing. So we'll see how that works out, and as long as I'm... One more thing as a topic. Summers is bringing in a proposal that would take care of the blighted stores, especially in our downtown. If you vacate that store, you've got 3 years to get off the pot and either put something in there or tear it down. And I think that's a great plan, in my view.
Sounds good.
If we had that plan in place, our downtown would all be refurbished right now, but those people have been sitting on that for about 20 years. So we're going to take a break. We'll be back in 1 minute, and then we'll play a little City of Jeopardy. Just tuned in, this is Uncle Scotty Barter, and welcome to the January 2nd edition of the Kenosha Today Weekly Report, coming to you live from Studio A here at WIP AM 1050 on your radio dial, bringing you hope and inspiration for 2016. Along with lots of prayer, duct tape, and a little touch of roadkill, Nevada super glue, I think we're pretty good to go here. Brought to you by our major sponsor, the Boathouse Pub and Eatery, and a host of many other very fine local businesses. Little Stevie is away on assignment this morning. Here also joining us at Crime Square, our video coordinator, Trooper Captain Ron's here this morning. Remember, Ronnie.
Don't touch my stuff.
And what goes on here at Crime Square stays at Crime Square.
Hey, the pretzels are good. You want some?
They are pretty good pretzels.
Yeah, they are good pretzels.
I'm talking here.
That's all right.
I'm not making any sense, but I'm talking here.
Well, while you take a break, Shirley can call in and have another snack. It's fine.
Also engineering us here this morning at Camp Happy Face, for our first show of 2016, taking us to all-time highs, the WIP fashion consultant to the stars, and the voice of high school basketball, also the host of his own very fine radio show, Lip Off, and celebrating his 10 years here with WIP
as a
radio.
hired employee.
As a hired employee.
September was my, as an intern, so 10 years here and then 10 years day to hire.
No arrest and or convictions.
No.
That's good on your resume.
That's what I find.
Never got laid off?
Yeah, never got laid off. That's true.
By the way, this show is being recorded for training purposes, so in our case, we need to record this so we can play it tomorrow. And for those certain folks that are listening and recording this for general lack of nothing better to do, I'm going to wipe your nose. I'm not going to wipe your noses anymore. You guys are on your own. I did say wipe your noses, right?
Yes, you did. Oh. You didn't see me go for the dump
I saw you leaning that way, and I was wanting to make sure. Also, special thanks to my good friend Steve Schneider. You can find the Kenosha Today show 365 days a year, 24/7 on YouTube. And now, boys and girls, it's time to play Kenosha's fastest growing game show sensation, the lightning round of City in Jeopardy, sponsored by the House of Gerhard's Restaurant. We're now clear of the phone lines, and I'm going to read the question, which is a very sophisticated, intelligent multiple choice question, and you will then get 3 somewhat intellectual answers to choose from. And after that, you will hear the ding. And the first caller to correctly answer the question wins a $25 gift certificate to the House of Gerhard's Restaurant, which is located at 3927 75th Street here in Kenosha. Open daily, specializing in fine dining, serving authentic German cuisine. Celebrating their 50th year at the same location. What better place to socialize and to have a great lunch or dinner? Call for a reservation, 262-694-5212, or you can find them on Facebook or at thehouseofgerhard.com. The phone lines are clear, and here is this morning's question. What was the best way to ring in the new year? A, watched 30 football games and saved 50% on your car insurance. B, counted down with Ryan Seacrest and saw the ball drop on the Southport Beach House. Or C, sat in a big box store and waited for the trolley to show up from nowhere. Phone lines are open. The first caller. What was the best way to ring in the new year? And we have a caller. Good morning. You're on Kenosha Today. Good morning.
Hello?
Yes, who are we talking to?
Scott from Zion.
Scott from Zion. Well, you're already in the plus side. Okay. What was the best way to ring in the new year? A, watch 30 football games and save 15% on your car insurance. B, count it down with Ryan Seacrest and watch the ball drop on the Southport Beach House. Or C, sat in a big box store and waited for the trolley to show up from nowhere. Scott, what is your answer?
C.
C, sat in a big box store and waited for the trolley to show up from nowhere. Yes, that's a correct answer.
Woo! Woo-hoo!
Now, you didn't guess on this, did you? You really knew this.
I really knew this.
And you don't have a trolley in Zion, right?
No, sir.
Would you like one?
No, sir.
What's going on down in Zion these days?
Nothing. Just cold, trying to stay warm. That's about it.
Zion's not a real, it's kind of a boring place, isn't it?
Yeah, especially in the winter.
Oh, it gets happier or more lively in the winter, in the summer?
In the summer, it gets a little more lively, yes, sir.
What do you guys go over to the bowling alley and go over to the roller rink? Hey, they still have a roller rink down there?
No, the roller rink closed. That's 5-star now.
Oh, jeez. I used to go down there when I was a kid.
Yeah, so did I.
Man, I used to... I guess better not tell you what I used to do down there. All right, here's what we're going to do.
There's a lot of rolling going on.
Yeah, a lot of rolling going on here. Pete's going to get your information, and then you can come out, stop here at WIP and pick up your gift certificate. And,
Perfect.
And then you can get over to the House of Gerhardt's, call them for a reservation, or just stop in there and enjoy the dinner, and we appreciate your call.
Yeah, I love that place. It's great food, and love you guys being on the radio.
Whoa. Well, 2 for 2. Go ahead. All right, now don't hang up. Pete's going to take your information.
All right.
All right, hang on. All right. And we're talking about a number of topics. This is our first show for 2016. A lot of people took this last 2 weeks off, but we decided to gut it out and show up here, Pete.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yes.
Thanks for doing that.
Talking about some topics before we took our break. The petition to force 75% of a city vote on the city council come Monday night. And they will need 13, I believe it would be, 13 of the city's 17 aldermen.
If all 17 show up Monday.
So they still need 75% of the quorum to get this passed. And like I said before, I feel sorry for those 8 folks that live in
It's going to be a must-watch meeting Monday night because they're going to argue about snow plowing and about that and about the big box store.
Yeah, well.
Start 2016 running. Of course, there's an election in April, which means they'll vote on absolutely nothing, but they'll have the debate
What is
anyway.
those 2 words? Deferment? 45-day deferment?
Oh, yeah, deferral.
Deferral, yes. And if you have a question or comment about the storm chaos, and if you have a complaint, we know who to talk to. And like in the 5th District where Pete and I live, we were just deluged with big, heavy snow. And again, we surmised that it was shipped in from the 17th, just as payback. And by the way, we still haven't seen Donut Dave, so if he's calling, he's probably...
Yeah, Donut's no donuts, yeah.
Yeah, he's not looking good for him. And if you're Greg from Kenosha, you got some issues with your parking tickets. I've got a plan for that. And Pickleball John, we have a plan to fix the Burma Road project, which is 27th Street between 30th Avenue and 39th Avenue. This has been going on for far too long. Hey, the last project they had about a year ago, a little over a year ago, was the 104th Avenue, which was also in Summers. We paved it.
Pete handled that job.
Yeah. Did they ever pay us off for that?
Well, they
Summers?
didn't. Summers claims that Kenosha didn't pay him send him a bill. What, do we don't have stamps now in the city of Kenosha?
Don't know.
We generate 400.
I would like to think that's not true, but after the snow plowing, I really don't know. I don't know what's going on down there.
$415,000 of revenue from alternate side parking violations, and now we can't afford to pay Summers off, or can't afford to put a stamp on a bill to send it to them. I'm sure if we sent them the bill, they would pay it within 10 days.
Oh,
right?
they'd be delighted.
Yeah,
jump on it.
Yeah, they'd jump all over that, and.
George would sign it personally.
King George would sign it, yeah. Put this mark on there. One of the things that was in the paper while we were gone was this cartoon by aldermanic candidate Bob Johnson, and I thought it was a pretty cute cartoon, and it had a picture of.
They picked the winner pretty soon, or did they? No, next month. This
week, I think it is. And it was a picture of. I surmise this was a picture of former Mayor John Andronium, and a picture of Santa with a bag of money, and as the what do you call it, the caption, John's making the list and wants a trolley twice. Already found out his spending ain't nice. And some people, I guess, were offended by that. But this goes back to a year ago when that Common Sense Group wanted to send the extension of the trolley to a referendum. And it was voted down by the city council. And then eventually, as we know, back in May or June, it was down the sewer because of We Energies was going to charge us $5 million. So that really put a kibosh on the trolley of that extension. But now Mr. Andronium has made a move to keep the funding alive until August 2016 when it expires. And so that's just a basic approval. It still would have to go through 3 government agencies. Hey, Ronnie.
Yes.
Close that door. Oh, okay. Through 3 government agencies prior to August to keep this. And what I'm a little confused, and maybe somebody can enlighten us, this grant for streetcar expansion was a clean air grant, was it not, Pete? And intended for streetcars, electric streetcars, not gas.
Well, for something that would not add emissions into the atmosphere. So this is it's being seen anyway as, again, more cloak and dagger type politics because we're going to set it aside, back burner it over here, and maybe we can use it for some clean buses or something.
Well, that's $8 million we pay for new buses. But like Voice of the People by a gentleman named Roger Nelson, what are we going to do when the $8 million runs out? And so, again,
just for political expediency, people are kind of blinding themselves to the thing that this John Andronium is the one who put the original line in, which nobody was a fan of until they proposed the extension. Then, the line we have is great. Then everybody sort of changed their tune. And now all the some of the aldermen who were against the streetcar are saying, oh, wow, that's dead in the water. He's not going to bring that back. You think?
Well,
are you going to get fooled again? I mean, at a certain...
Can they fool him again?
I mean, clearly they can. But.
So I did a little research on the mass transit, and here's the streetcars' actual ridership. 2014, 45,000. There was a time back when they were posting 70,000. So now we're down to 45,000. They only estimate 15 was 46 and 47,000 riders for 2016. Why in the world, maybe somebody can enlighten me, would we spend all this money on a deal that's continually every year going in the wrong direction? Meanwhile, it cost us almost $400,000 to operate, another almost $100,000 for the maintenance, so $486,000. Chum change to run the streetcar.
I don't think anybody in office really cares philosophically either way on the streetcar. What they care about is being on the right side of the fence politically.
Well,
so again, all these people, that were
common sense
people, right? 6,000 signatures. They held a big rally at the Women's Club. You remember back a few months ago. Mm-hmm. But some of those same people are on the Andronium bandwagon again, putting the blinders on because they don't think that streetcar is ever going to happen. Well, all they care is being on the right side politically for who they think is going to win in April. That's what's going on.
I concur. And I said a year ago that when the city council denied their request and the 6,000 signatures to put it to a referendum, that this will come back in a mayoral election and in an aldermanic election because they wanted to have their voices heard. And word reached me that most of that group is going to endorse and support Bob Johnson.
Mm-hmm. You think it puts Bob Johnson, I don't want to say over the top, but you think it puts him in the race?
Oh, I think so. My personal views, like I said before, I'm not endorsing anybody, but I'm just presenting the facts.
Does it make it competitive?
Oh,
because I think a lot of people look at the mayoral election coming up and saying, well, that's a runaway for the other guy.
I disagree. I think it's if his Mr. Anaranium's thing is vision for the future, well, we had 16 years of that. He brought us a couple of museums, which are very costly, and basically Mr. Bosman was 8 years of kind of his clone, if you will. I mean, I think Keith has done a great job, but you knew sooner or later he was going to try to extend the trolley, and when does he try to do it? His last term. Mm-hmm. So now he's out. He's not going to endorse anybody, I understand. So I think if we're going to be a young, progressive city, I think Mr. Johnson is very intelligent. I think the people will...
What do you think about barter?
Forget that.
He said young and progressive.
Young and progressive.
Oh, okay, yeah, sorry.
For two.
Sorry.
I'm
My bad.
telling you. And here was some information. No, I guess to go back to what you said before, Pete, people are saying, okay, yes, we have the trolley. It's nice. Mm-hmm. But
nobody said that before they proposed the extension.
No.
The very same people that were against the extension right before that said, we hate that line, tear it out. And then all of a sudden, what we got is awesome. Let's keep it that way.
Because they didn't want to go any further.
Well, right. I know why they're doing it.
In this 47,000 that they estimate, they even broke it down, passengers per hour. 19, really, this is the city's capital expensive, not capital improvement, but they break it down, 19 people an hour. I've only seen the driver on it, basically.
What's the highest hour of the day? Did they have that?
No, they didn't.
I'm thinking the noon hour, the lunch rush.
You know what? A streetcar. They have one guy. He makes $56,000 a year, plus $5,000 in overtime, plus his retirement and everything else. Just out of that whole total of $500,000, a trolley driver makes all the benefits and pensions and everything, $107,000.
Holy!
Pete, if things don't work out here,
how come your producer doesn't make that off of you? I'll take 107. Period.
Ronnie has yet to learn the route. That's why.
Yeah. I'm still.
If Ronnie goes and becomes the trolley driver, it'll set back 6 months for him to learn the route.
The other problem is with moving this money towards buses. Buses are, by the very nature, they have four wheels. Of course, they can go anywhere. We heard that. The point of putting the streetcar extension is they made the argument it raises the property values for the different storefronts. You can laugh whatever you want. You'd not believe that. Fine. But that was the argument. Clearly, buses will not have that same economic impact. So you're not making the $8 million go as far. And that's the problem with this brand new plan of putting, I don't think it's ever going to go into buses, but, they're saying, we'll put buses in for downtown, whatever. It's not going to have the same economic impact, even if you do it.
I never heard that argument, but just for the point of discussion, let's say that is their argument that says the trolleys would add to the value of your property. Well, Mike Bjorn's Clothing sits about 50 feet from the corner of 56th Street and 6th Avenue, and I can tell you his property values hadn't gone up. And if you talk to Jody and some of the people from Cooler near the lake, and if you go down to all the rest of the building, I can't imagine their properties going up, and the same with trolley dogs. So somebody would have to show me in the last 10 years how some of those businesses and those buildings actually went up in assessment. And this was interesting. This was in the paper about the same time. These were about 5-6 different cities that had streetcar problems. This was in Washington. $200 million project is 9 years behind times. In Detroit, they still haven't had an unveiling of the streetcar's name, and that's put that off. In Charlotte, North Carolina, a runaway streetcar nearly rear-ended a Chevy's days. That'd be like, remember on Labor Day when we have the big car show down there? Mm-hmm. We had about 1,100 people. That would have been a time to empty the trolley barn and put 4 trolleys out there.
Yes.
We had one.
One going, I remember. Even for Cheesapalooza, which was the last one.
Yes.
I mean, there was a ton of people down there, of course, and they had one streetcar rolling around instead of having at least 2 to accommodate the people.
Oh, they could have had 4. And besides of all of the parking was in a premium, that would have actually moved people.
Yes.
Yep. Good morning. You're on Kenosha Today.
Hi, guys. It's Cindy. How are you?
Very good, Cindy.
Oh, good. You guys were talking about that trolleys with wheels.
Yes.
I lived in Memphis for a while, and they have those down there, and they're made to look like old paddle boats.
Oh, that's kind of cute, huh?
No, it's ugly.
Oh.
It's so stupid.
Like I said, sir. Like I said, Cindy, ugliest things I've ever seen.
Yeah, what's a paddle boat doing on the street? You know, for one thing, and then with wheels underneath it, it's just stupid.
You know what the city did? This had to be about, at least 10 years ago. They applied for a grant for a gas trolley. It was a trolley, and it was, it was $2 million. They got some grant money, and it was too expensive to run because the engine was propane. So they shoveled it off and gave it to our downtown bid, who it was going to bankrupt them in insurance and cost. So they gave it back to the city, got it out of the downtown bid's name, and sat in the trolley barn for all these years. And they are now going to spend $50,000 to convert that propane to a gas trolley. And it's only got 2,000 miles on it, and it's really a nice looking deal that they can rent out and come out to wherever. So, but I don't think it looks like a paddle boat.
Are you going to ask Cindy?
No. Pardon?
No, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, and then I get a question for you.
Oh, go ahead. You had a question.
About your granddaughter for the Christmas present.
Oh, yeah.
Did she get it?
No, she didn't get a Husky.
Oh, okay.
She got a bike and a scooter, and she got a helmet and all kinds of summer clothes, because guess where she spent New Year's?
Florida?
Maui.
No way!
I was going to say Hawaii, yeah.
You know, Cindy, from now on, I'm calling her and give her my list to give to Santa. She's in Maui, and we're sitting here.
That kid is so lucky. Her other grandparents took her. They have a timeshare out there.
Well, God love her.
Yeah.
Good thing she didn't get the dog.
Yeah, she got the dog. You would have been watching the dog, and she's out in the sands in Maui.
Right? I'd be out there on the snow going, damn it.
Come on, do your business.
Yeah, what's wrong with this picture?
Right.
I'll clean it up later.
Yeah, Ron and I were talking about that.
But she was so excited that she got to talk on the radio.
Oh.
You know, she went home and told her grandma and grandpa, I talked on the radio with grandma's friends. So
Scott says that every day when he gets on, too. It's funny.
You know what?
I heard him at the boathouse. I got the talk on the radio.
Yeah, about 12:30 this afternoon.
Yeah.
And again.
But God love her. I mean, she played her cards right. You ask for a Husky and you go to Maui.
Yeah, there you go.
7 years old. I think, Pete, we're doing this all wrong, Ronnie. We got to come up with a better plan of attack here.
No kidding.
But good for her. You
guys.
tell her we said hello and good luck.
We'll do, and Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year to you. What were we talking about? I got to read this last sponsor before we...
I don't doubt it.
Well, here's what I doubt. Back in the day, when he was mayor the first time, there was a Democratic governor and a Democratic legislator. Legislation. Yeah,
Right.
like legislature.
Legislature.
Yeah, right.
Democrats
those guys do. Now, the Republicans are in power.
Correct.
John Anaradium goes to Madison to meet with Scott Walker. He won't even let him on the grounds, probably. I mean, take your own trolley.
Yeah.
I mean, really, all of those funds for Democrat, and he is a Democrat, have dried up. And, we went from a surplus, did we not? Now the state has we are running in a deficit, I believe.
Yeah.
So all of that, those good times under, I call him Diamond Jim Doyle. I mean, you were on the Doyle if you were with Doyle.
Yeah,
on the Dole.
Right.
So,
well, again, we'll see how it plays out, but clearly the people who are still planning on being in office after whatever the date in April the election is, they see, at least where they perceive the political winds are blowing, and everybody's running towards that side of the boat right now. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, well, we have, I have it, I'll read it someplace. I've got all the, who's running against who in certain districts. I can dig that up at the break. And I guess that's my tune to take 4 minutes off, right?
There you go.
Or 5? What is it?
About 4.5.
Oh, good. I can
5.
I can go to the Biff. I'll be back in 4. This is Uncle Scotty Barter, and welcome to the January 2nd edition of the Kenosha Today Ball Drop, coming to you live from Studio A here at WIP AM 1050 on your radio dial. Being brought to you by our major sponsor, the Boathouse Pub and Eatery, and a host of many other very fine local businesses. Taking serious journalism to an all-time high, reporting on local stories, state stories, and spanning the globe. And sticking with us through thick and thick here at Crime Square this morning, the always lovable Trooper Captain Ron's here.
Hey.
Oh, Jesus.
Hey.
I bet you didn't say that on New Year's Eve to your wife, did you?
No.
It was more like, And engineering the Kenosha train wreck this morning, left over from 2014, 2015. And looking to survive 2016, Pistol Pete enlightens our presence.
Morning.
What kind of nice resolution is that? Surviving the Kenosha Today Show. You should have T-shirts printed.
I should.
Speaking of resolutions, this was written in our home office on the deck of the Vaudis Pub and Eatery. This morning's top 10 category, top 10 thought-provoking category. The top 10 Kenosha Today New Year's resolutions. Number 10. Convince Trump to build a wall between Wisconsin and Illinois and have them pay for it. Number 9. Push to make every city study over 100,000 subject to Steve Harvey's approval. Number 8. Spend more quality time shoveling snow and flushing toilets in the 17th District. Number 7. Change the Kenosha Today top 10 from thought-provoking to just plain annoying as hell. Number 6. Finally prove that your entire car can fit into a Kenosha pothole. Number 5. Say goodbye to wasteful spending. Say hello to the bike velodrome. Number 4. Make plans to move into the Witness Protection Program located in Shirley's garage. Number 3. Renew ties with the road community. Number 2. Learn to say community watchdog without laughing your ass off. And the number 1 Kenosha Today thought-provoking New Year's resolution. Have city workers start plowing the snow on the last Sunday in September or when a trolley driver finally remembers the route, whichever comes first. If you just joined us, this is our first show of 2016. We started a little slow, but we're working away, trying to build up some.
We're live, by the way. In case people are wondering, we're here.
Little Stevie is away. I think he's a little ill this morning. We've been talking about a number of topics. The snowstorm that we had a few days ago. If you're Greg from Kenosha, I've got the answers to your questions, and if you're Pickleball John, I do have the answer to your Burma Road project. And we were looking at the new stringent training requirements for community watchdogs, and also the big petition drive for those 8 people that live on Summers, and it's going to go before the city council for this warehouse project, and also the proposal for this big box ordinance. That's a different issue, isn't it? The big box.
Yes,
and
I think so, because the big box is east of Green Bay Road,
right,
on state trunk highways.
And if you have, Summers is also proposing an ordinance that would say if you have a vacant building more than 3 years, it either comes down or you got to do something. Of course, with it. What?
If we have a building vacant for more than 3 years here, we just try to find a developer and state money.
Well,
and then it stays vacant another 3.
Well, some of these, and we'll just use downtown. Not I'm picking downtown, but some of those have been vacant for 20 years. And if we would have had an ordinance like Summers is proposing, I think, we'd have tell a developer you got 3 years to do something with it.
But don't you know the funding sources are complicated, Scott?
Oh, funding sources, yeah. Sources
meaning they're non-existent. That's usually what that means.
Well, then don't buy it in the first place.
Well,
these guys bought that to flip.
Okay, but now, or for example, you take the Heritage House.
Yeah, there's
right. Okay. Now, if that is, and I hear it's the structurally, it's fine. They did some stuff, to make it through the winter or whatever. And this developer who's done other historic buildings thinks it's going to be a moneymaker. Great. Then invest the money. Why do you need this taxpayer money to put into it if you are going to make so much out of it?
That's the American way.
I don't.
That's the American way. Use somebody else's money. Really? That's what they're doing.
I know. Yeah. Well, that's what they're waiting for. Somebody else to pay for.
I still can't, in my own mind, $20 million to put in 65 or 80 rooms of
whatever it is,
boutiques or boutiques or
boutique hotel. Boutiques. Who taught you French, by the way?
I had a guy in Ripon.
Did you? I bet you did.
And
great poupon.
I just 20 million. There's no parking. The city owns it for lack of back taxes for a good number of years. So. And I don't think any city money is going to be used. If it is, it's minimal. But to recapture an investment of $20 million, you got to be talking, excess of 25 years. I mean, yes, on accounting purposes, you got depreciation and all that other,
especially around here.
Yeah.
The argument on the other side is, if you tear it down, the lot's going to stay empty for 20 years.
Well, put a parking lot in. we're going to need parking when all these other buildings come down. Pete, now follow me. Focus on the connected dots. When all these other old buildings come down to get rehabbed, we're going to need parking. So that'd be a good place to put a parking ramp. It's right across from this other.
I thought for a long time, but
yeah. 262-694-1050. I also have a question to any of our listeners. In the Kenosha News the other day, first time they had this last Wednesday's news, and this was Creative Solutions abound to bring streetcar downtown. I think I know what this was. It was supposed to be a spoof and supposed to be satire. I mean, is that your take on this?
It was. I kind of picked it up right away that it's supposed to be The Onion.
Oh,
like the Kenosha News version of the Onion newspaper, which of course is satire.
Well,
but
this was. I'm reading this, and the nice picture of the trolley, and it says "Resident Win Energy." Well, that kind of tipped me off there. And he said he didn't want to beat a dead horse, and then created Herman, and then Alderman Don Quixote attacked. Apparently, this guy. The gist of this, they want to put. In fact, they have a windmill on top of this trolley, electric trolley. Now, who was it that just said? Cindy said they had gas trolleys that look like
paddle boats.
Yep. I think this is going to. If you look at this picture, this is going to see with a windmill on top.
Right.
That might play havoc with the electrical lines. I mean, I don't know enough about electricity.
Can you rotate it down after it snows and move snow out with it?
Yeah, blow snow. Very good.
See, solutions.
You got to put it on the front of this. When he says think outside the box, boy, you're right, Pete. You put this on the front, and
I'm gonna run far away from.
You want some of my want some of my campaign tips, Pete? You'll be sitting here for the next 10 years if you do that. Well, this whole thing, I didn't understand what this was, but I guess I don't know if they're going to do this again. If somebody knows,
I don't know why they did it the first time. To be honest with you.
Well, it was a kind of a chintzy way to sell advertising.
Yeah,
some of the advertising in here was kind of along the same lines. It was cartoonish, and and then they put a lot of cartoons in, and this was a 10-page edition. So
I did enjoy the column by you, Jas, though. That was very nice.
Good morning on Kenosha Today.
Is this a live show or what?
Yeah, believe it or not.
Hey, you have a comment, sir?
Well, I mean, the only person I heard call in was Shirley. You've been begging John to call in for the last hour and 15 minutes.
Done. I'm done with him. I'm not begging him. He wants me to get his answer on this Burma Road project. I get it. And he's stiffs me, so to speak.
He might be on holiday.
Playing pickleball in the snow or something.
Yeah. Hey, you're a good judge of music, right?
Well, that's what I like.
When we did our Christmas musical with Billy Goat and the Four Milkers, that was pretty enlightening, didn't you think?
Enlightening is not the word I'd use for it.
Okay, well, hold your thought, because I told you guys that we are going to be this halftime at the Super Bowl.
We are?
Yeah. Well, and you want to hear our audition tape?
Sure.
This is our audition tape when we tried out, and we got the job too, by the way. We're going to be performing our musical group, Kenosha Today, Billy Goat and the Four Milkers, at this year's halftime Super Bowl show. Here it is.
Well, sometimes
Carry on, Tom, carry on.
I go out by myself.
Carry on, Tom, carry on.
Since I call home, when my body's been a mess, and I'm
hang with me, Paul. It goes on for a little bit.
I love your falsetto, though, Scott. Very nice.
I was knocking them dead this day.
I can honestly tell you, by a clear mile, you are the worst singer we have had.
And then he breaks into this. So enjoy that come February.
So, yeah. Are you there, Paulie?
Wow. Oh, that is special. I got.
No wonder why nobody's calling it.
Just make sure you guys don't have a wardrobe malfunction during the Super Bowl, okay?
Well, they said we were going to play during the halftime at the Super Bowl. We haven't gotten a notification of exactly where. If it's in the hallway, or if in the men's room, or the women's room, or
the stadium prison,
the trolley barn, the lockup down and underneath in the basement of the stadium. But I think we really knocked them dead. We hit it, right, Pete? What did they say? What do they say in the singing? You nailed it. We nailed it.
Yeah.
To the cross.
Okay. You nailed it, all right.
Yeah, to the cross. That's wonder I got these finger punctures in my hands and my feet.
That's Scott Barter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
B-A-R.
Is anybody else's ears bleeding or
ears? So do you have
really?
Do you have a good New Year's?
Yeah, it was nice. Nothing special. I mean, quiet. I don't, when you get to be my age, just,
Well, word reached us that you were over at Shirley's New Year's party, and you were kind of making a spectacle of yourself. Thank God we captured this in your driveway.
Pants on the ground, looking like a fool with your pants on the ground, with the gold in your mouth, hat turned sideways, pants hit the ground. Call yourself a cool cat, looking like a fool, walking downtown with your pants on the ground.
We just don't condone that kind of behavior,
Well, no, but all I can say is that girl knows how to throw a party. My goodness. And I finally, I didn't get to taste her pie. I know she leaves that for you, but it was quite a party.
So, the next big event we got to look forward to is Groundhog's Day. So you have to start seeing if you can find your shadow, just to practice, so that when we get to February 2nd, you'll be prepared. Don't come...
My shadow's called a blackout.
Well, practice. Hey, maybe we should have you come in for our what you call it, Groundhog Special. You can take Groundhog.
It could be a Groundhog Special, huh?
Yeah. You can learn on Puxatani Phil, and we can take some calls on groundhogs.
We'll see. I'll keep that in mind.
You don't sound real confident to come in here and participate in this.
I'm not real confident about anything. Now that I've got a job working for Steve Casey, my time's not just that free and easy.
Oh, so after those 3 minutes a week, what else do you do?
Well, there's other stuff.
Other stuff.
Cleaning.
What's the prediction on a Packer game tomorrow? Are we in trouble?
I don't know. I think they're going to win, but either way, whatever happens tomorrow, they're going to win their first playoff game.
Hey, let me ask you this: if they win the division, who will they possibly play? A wild card team, correct?
Probably play the Vikings
again.
Play the Vikings again in Lambeau. And if they lose, they'll probably play Washington out in Washington.
Okay, that was a little confusing at our production meeting last night. So, thank you for enlightening that.
Well, that's after 4 Long Island iced teas.
Oh, not 4.
Okay, 3.
3.5.
Well, Ron was egging me on. All right,
blame
Paul.
Ron.
All right. Well, thanks for the call, and don't worry, we'll figure out the singing for the Super Bowl halftime show.
Okay, and I'll see what I can do about my schedule for the Groundhog Day Spectacular.
You do that. Spectacular.
Okay. Bye now.
Good morning. Good morning. You're on Kenosha Today.
Hi. Yeah, I was just driving downtown, and I have a report on the trolley.
Okay. What's the report?
There was no one on the trolley. I don't know what hour this is, but this particular hour, there are not 19 people on it.
We've had the same report for 365 days a year for the last 20 years that I've been doing this business, and we get the same report. So are you just copycatting? Are you copycatting, or is this serious stuff?
No, I was just on my way to work. I had to drive by the post office, drop off the post, and I saw the trolley. Like, while I'm listening to the show, I'm going to do a quick head count while I'm driving past, and the head count was 1. So there's one, the driver. So the guys were 18 short, I guess.
Well, speaking of short, they were probably midgets. You probably didn't see the other 30 midgets that are actually standing, and you can't see them.
I guess if that's the case, then they have to pay half price if they're midgets. I'm just wondering, maybe then that's why they're not making their money, I guess.
There goes the revenue. Okay, thanks for the report.
Right,
a trolley report.
Anytime.
Thank you. Good morning on Kenosha Today.
Hi, Lou Regani with you. Just had the radio on and caught your act and your caller's act.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty neat, huh?
Well, I was just wondering at where you got that word, trolley, when there's 35 signs on there. Well, I stopped counting at 35. It say streetcar.
I know, but Lou, this is paid broadcasting. I can call whatever I want, don't you think?
No, I'm just wondering. I'm questioning here. Can you help me on that? Why would somebody like me? I mean, when I go to the Milwaukee Packers games, I always get that wrong too.
Well,
by the way, I passed a golf course today, Scott.
Yeah.
I didn't see one person on it. Oh, and I went to the library, and there was one guy in. Oh, another thing. I went to Lincoln Park. I drive through there.
Yeah.
Guess what?
Nobody basketball. Nobody playing basketball.
And I was on the elevator, too, at City Hall. Yeah. I was the only one on it. How do you explain that?
Can I have some time to think about it?
No, there's no time because it's New Year and we just start a brand new time over here.
Yeah.
I just wanted to point out a couple of things over here. I know it's paid broadcasting, so I hope I didn't interfere with it.
Oh no! We always appreciate your commercials. Your call.
How about the? Oh, by the way, I did see somebody downtown looking at the streetcars.
Yeah.
And he stood there and he looked like maybe he didn't care for tourism too much. I don't know. He had that look about it, like. We're just Kenosha. That's good enough for us.
Well, that's a good point. Thanks for pointing it out.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, and he was wearing a hat, but it was hard to tell.
Okay.
Good point.
All right, Louis, I appreciate your call. Boy, you hit it right
I know
in the
you do. I can sense it.
Happy New Year to you, pal.
I promise.
Yeah. Oh, we lost him. I thought we were done. I'm sorry. Good morning. You're on Kenosha today.
Good morning, men.
Yes.
Good morning.
That's good morning.
Tell Lou the guy standing looking at the trolley that was in disbelief was the driver wondering what the hell happened.
Well, I think you pretty much summed it up there, see?
Yes, and ask Lou which one of those places he mentioned is bleeding money so bad they should put a tourniquet on it.
Well, this is what we like. We like discussion and the other side of the issue, and I didn't think...
He's as stale as Shirley is in the morning.
Oh, jeez. Well, he did bring up he was trying to do an analogy. Well, nobody's in the golf course. Well, the golf course ain't open. The trolley is open.
I'll tell you what. I'd call Jose up. Maybe he might argue that. I played around last week.
Actually, Maple Crest, most of the local golf courses were open.
Exactly. The only ones that closed was the one run by the city. Go by Jose. He'll let you play today. Tell Lou to get his head out of the sand. This is 2016 now. Thank you.
Okay. Well, little fire in there.
Now see we're getting some action going.
Yeah.
Woo!
I always call it the trolley. I'm going to always call it the trolley. I know it's technically a streetcar, but okay. So shame on me and slap me up alongside the head.
Okay, I will.
Make a note of it, right? Yeah. Take a number.
Many women have tried. Many women have succeeded.
I was going to say, how many succeeded?
Don't touch that stuff.
I got to read a response here.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Happy New Year.
Dale.
Yes.
We have some questions for you. Unless if you got a comment first, go ahead.
I have a question for you first.
Okay, go ahead. Sure, go ahead.
You know that Santa gave me that lifetime membership for the trolley ride. I can ride anytime I want.
For heroism above and beyond the Call of Duty, yes, I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to know if I can re-gift that. I was on the trolley once, and it went around in a circle. I went on it a couple times because I didn't catch all the scenery the first time around.
Too dizzy?
Because it went so fast. Yeah, and I got dizzy.
And you know what? It was only a lifetime pass for you, so between you and the driver, it's kind of a lonely ride, isn't it?
Yeah, there wasn't much conversation.
I mean, the guy's got to
He had to concentrate on where he was going.
Well, you can memorize the route, and if you forget, you're in deep trouble. You end up in the water.
Well, I was going to draw my map. But
now, I have a question for you.
Okay.
The big snowstorm from earlier in the week on Monday, and it was devastating. Now, word reached me. Now, I want you to confirm this because I know you were out in Whitecaps. Whitecaps was down to the bare pavement, and did you see...
except for 1 yard.
Okay, but don't mention the address.
Okay.
Can you confirm or deny that you saw snow being lifted into trucks and hauled away to be dumped on in the 5th District, where Pete and I live? Confirm.
Yeah, that's affirmative.
Yeah, that's what we thought. See, Pete?
Darn it all.
And
well, you got stuck.
Did you ever see?
I got stuck 3 times in my street.
Now, Donor Dave's been out there since.
I was out there, and a particular individual was trying to remove snow with a what do they call those things that you plow a garden with?
Rototiller.
Rototiller. And I asked, "What's going on? What are you doing?" He says, "I'm trying to blow the snow away." That isn't what that's for.
He's not one of your group.
No,
he doesn't belong to us.
No. This is a white cap group.
Yeah, please tell me he didn't have a Kenosha Today T-shirt on either. I mean, that's just so bad.
Yeah, no.
You know, we still haven't seen Donut Dave, who we lost. We haven't seen since October 28th when we had that first 6 or 7 inches. You didn't see him out there, did you?
No, it's a funny thing. I thought for sure he'd be there, but I think he went back to some meatloaf convention.
You didn't see any black SUV out there with the windows all fogged up and a couple empty bottles of vodka sitting outside?
Oh, you know what? There was one that went by.
That's
I
him.
did see a couple of bottles.
That's probably him. His wife hasn't missed him either. So I'm far be it from me to.
Well, I don't know. Maybe he was with the kayak boy.
Well, we can use all the help we can get. Now, anyway, so if I understand this right, you're confirming that they took the snow, put it in trucks, and dumped it off as payback to Pete and I, or to me anyway.
Yeah.
Pete.
Yeah, that's affirmative.
Yeah, okay, well.
I just got the back end of it. So to speak.
Yeah, so to speak. So to smooth things over, what would you suggest I do when we have the next snowstorm? Just not make fun of them? Not make fun of them?
Yeah, just stay away.
Maybe I should do that like Rosenberg does. He's got the dog urine in the 9th district there.
It was so bad they're getting out. I was wondering if human urine would have the same effect. I was going to try anything.
Don't give him any ideas, please.
You know what? Somebody goes and eats yellow snow. The paperwork's going to tie me up for a month.
Yeah, I'd hate to go there. I'd hate to go there and see a bunch of names in the snow.
Scott, Steve.
Gotta have pretty good accuracy for that. All right. You having a good New Year so far? Of course, it's only on day 2.
So far, it's been really good. Yeah. Going real smooth.
We like to start slow and taper down from here. So, did you hear our entry into the Super? We are going to be performing at Super Bowl 5.
Oh, okay.
Did you hear our?
No, I didn't.
We have a time machine apparently too.
All right. This is it now. This goes on for about 20 seconds, so stay with us. This was our audition tape.
Sometimes
Carry on, Jones. Carry on.
I go out by myself.
Carry on, Jones. Carry on.
Since I come home, when my body's been a mess, and I miss your ginger and the way you like to dress. Won't you come over? Stop making all
I can honestly tell you, by a clear mile, you are the worst singer we have had.
This is the big finish, Dale.
Yikes.
Now that'd bring 100,000 people to its knees, don't you think?
Is that from the PPFL?
That's the PPFL.
The Pakistani Professional Football League?
That's the other show.
No, that's the other show. No, but anyway, we are going to be there at Super Bowl 50, and we will be performing at halftime. We just haven't gotten the logistics exactly where we're going to be performing, but that would bring 100,000 people, plus a couple of, 12, 50 million people watching at home.
Not only that,
to their
Scott,
knees.
It'll bring them to their feet to walk
Get a little more practice in, though, please.
And they're worried about, and Homeland Security is worried about, people bombing us, huh?
Trump's going to put us on the border so people stop coming across.
You know what? If they let us sing at the pregame, we'd have no problems with terrorists.
Yeah, all right. We'll get you guys. I'll tell you what, you guys rock, man. You got a good show.
This is real serious, doesn't it? Okay, Dale.
Thank you, Dale.
Back drinking again at 10:30 in the morning. Yeah. All right, we're going to take a break, and then we get back. We're into the home stretch, and we got topics, and see if we can help. We had a caller call in about the a trolley sighting. He saw the trolley. He saw the driver. I didn't see anybody on there, but I still swear that holds 35. There's probably 30 midgets on there. That's why you didn't see them. We'll be back in 1 minute. Are back making the turn and heading down the home stretch. If you just joined us, this is the January 2nd edition of the Kenosha Today Weekly Report, coming to you live from Studio A here and streaming worldwide here on WIP AM 1050, being brought to you by our major sponsors, the Boathouse Pub and Eatery, and a host of many other very fine local businesses. As I mentioned earlier, Little Stevie is away on assignment, and with us, our video coordinator, Captain Ron, and Steve Harvey's go-to guy, our engineer, Pistol Pete. Steve Harvey, how's it working out? I mean, that's what a...
Well, I think that he's going to be back next year, so he's still getting the paychecks.
No, unlike he's making a pretty good chunk of change doing that, right? Now, you don't hear us making big mistakes like that.
No,
I mean
we're always accurate.
All our ducks in a row.
Bet.
As I mentioned, this is our first show from 2016. Little hope, prayer, some divine intervention. We'll be here each and every Saturday morning from 10 a.m. to noon. And if you happen to miss our Saturday shows, you can tune in WLP tomorrow, Sunday at noon. Listen to the replay of this morning's broadcast. And I still, that is a little scary when they play us 2 days back to back. So,
well, we're healthy for you.
Yeah,
99% fat-free.
Right here, these are cholesterol-free.
Oh, that's nice. I don't need any more of that cholesterol.
We've been talking about a whole bunch of things this morning, and we've had a number of issues come up with the snow plowing and the streetcars. See, streetcars.
See,
streetcars.
You can be taught.
Not much, but I still like to call it the trolley. It's always been a trolley to me, and I mean, $500,000 was. I still think that in that Chrysler site, my suggestion is he okay?
Yeah, he's entertaining himself. Yeah. He thinks he's a political ad from around about a year ago.
I don't think the Long Island's are worn out from him from yesterday's afternoon's production meeting.
I should hear him at karaoke tonight.
Yeah.
All the Meet Me in St. Louis favorites.
Yep. You got it.
I don't think the people are taking our singing all that serious.
I can't imagine why not.
Well, we had that great Christmas Silent Night rendition during the holidays, and holidays went pretty quick for me. I mean, I didn't do
good for you. You don't shop, right? You don't decorate.
No.
So
it leaves. We had a
you didn't do anything.
We had a production meeting every afternoon.
Scott's the only house on the block without any lights.
I have nice spotlights, but I took the green ones, and Christmas is over, and
pawned them.
I took the. I didn't pay. It's like the guy said, "How much did you make doing this show?" And I goes, "Oh, I made about 15,000 here. I made 20,000 selling other people's decorations on the side." So, we are talking politics. We talk a little bit about, and here's who's running for. Eric Haugard in the 1st District doesn't have anybody running against him, but in the 2nd District, this is the downtown. Chaz Bartus, David Gashke, I guess it is, Raymond Roberts, and John Fox. There's going to be a primary there. In the 3rd District, incumbent Jan Mahowski and Kyle Flood. I don't understand. Well, I understand it. Kyle Flood was going to be up for school board re-election, and since he wasn't going to get the KEA endorsement like he had before, they said goodbye to him. Yeah,
it's because it's easier to run in a little section of the city than it is across 4 municipalities.
Well, yeah.
For the school district.
And if the KEA, which endorsed him the last time, wasn't going to endorse you this time, so some of the current aldermen put him up against.
And if somebody's
Jan
wondering,
Mahowski.
I count Summers as 2 municipalities now, so...
Yeah, that's a real nightmare.
It is, because you have now the town is part of the village, or village is back with the town, but you have the remnant areas.
Village idiots, Yeah.
Squeak, maybe 3.5 municipalities.
That guy, Ronnie Grimes, goes to their administrator, was it, or their attorney, and says, "I'm going to get all these signatures to force this to a referendum. How many I need?" The guy gives it to him. So now when he comes in with the 379 signatures or whatever, now I'm miraculously you need 400 some.
Yeah.
So
426.
The guy would have probably undoubtedly come in with 426. They had to
give him 3 more days.
Yeah. Does he have? He can still do that?
No, he had when he turned it in. He had 3 more days. The reunification went forward. At midnight.
Automatically. That was the deal.
2016.
Boy, did he happen? There's a guy that really has done a great job as a citizen, and really kind of got screwed over out there by those people. Well,
you always want to make sure that people who take an interest in their community and pass, petition around get screwed. We always want to make sure you do that in a democracy.
Well, yeah.
It's a good job.
That's why we have community watchdogs. There's some new laws. How we might want to hold off to this. What it takes to be a community watchdog. I know one of the requirements, Pete, if you're going to remodel a house and you're a community watchdog, you better have a fake beard in the glove box of your white Bronco, just in case. That's a community watchdog. There's more, but we can't. We don't want to give all our. We don't want to peek too early.
Isn't there a website, buildyourownpermit.com? Just print it out as a fail-safe, just in case.
Yeah. You got to have 3 credit hours of continuing ed from the Maytag Repairmen's School of Ball Bearings. This is important. Your mom would be proud. You have to wear your clean Mr. Peanut Calvin Klein underwear to be considered a watchdog. And now you can't get flipped out if you have a 10-gallon vat of super glue in your driveway. You got to be able to handle that.
Handle that. Good.
And you to be a community watchdog, you also have to have a left-handed and a right-handed snow shovel. See, going both ways is vital into this deal.
Well, you have to talk out of both sides of your mouth.
Well, that's true. You have to go both ways there. And if you should be able to memorize the trolley route, both coming and going. So there's a lot of two-way things going on here. And so... Anyway.
BuildYourOwnPermit.com. Just in case, for whatever reason, you don't have one.
We got a few minutes left here, and we were talking earlier about this last Wednesday's news that was in the Kenosha News. I'd like to hear some people's response to this. 262-694-1050. One of the articles in here says Kenosha News admits Voice of the People was a horrible idea.
See, I thought that was a real article when I saw it. I go, yeah, of course.
That's why I thought this whole thing was legit. You know, back in the day, on April 1st, the Kenosha News always would take a picture and superimpose something. I remember the one year they had a picture of a big monster in the harbor, and it was an evening newspaper at the time. And then the one year they had a plane that landed in Columbus Park.
Yep.
And the people bought into this, and there were crowds of people, and traffic was stopped for all over the place. So I agree that this Kenosha News admits Voice of the People is a horrible idea. This was probably the only, I guess, legitimate.
Well, there was this article. 2-time failed mayoral candidate gets radio show. Oh, wait, this is the legitimate side of the newspaper. Wait a minute.
You were doing so good.
That deserves a ding.
Let's see if I can lighten it up here. We talked about the guy who won the Burlington Liars Club. He's 72-year-old Gene O'Brien. His statement was he wins with this. He grew up in a family of 16. I like this one. I never got to sleep alone until I got married.
Yeah,
that's classic.
Very nice.
I mean, guy wins first place with that. I mean, that's been that could have been the story of my life, my autobiography.
Scott's like, that's not a lie for me. That's true.
That's not a lie.
Hey, you kind of stopped abruptly in the middle of the aldermanic races.
I got
with Summers' thought. Oh no, Kyle Flood thoughts.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I think the boys are putting him up to it. The boys, meaning some remnants of the Fab Five.
That's correct.
Put him up to run against Jan Mahowski.
I don't think there's any doubt. By the way,
Jan Mahowski has done an admirable job, I think. So,
he's not afraid to go against the administration when need be. Especially, he feels passionate about the Southport Beach House, and he didn't like the city's plan for that. But it goes to show you that they're going to go after anybody they deem vulnerable.
Now you bring up a good point, Pete. Now, we have mentioned the Southport Beach House in passing this last year, right?
Yes.
Just in passing. Now, did he call up and give us, how many people to see in the trolley and how many people, give us like Mr. Vergani did? No. He took it in stride,
No, I think he did probably call in and stated his side to it. But, again, he's passionate about that.
Oh, sure. And then we hang up on him. We hang up on him and move on. In the 6th district, Deshaun Jackson and David Pfaff is the Pfaff?
Yeah, Dave Pfaff
is the incumbent there. In the 7th district, Gregory Bennett Jr., Robbie Preston, and incumbent Patrick Giuliana. And here again, the boys went out and got 2 candidates to force Giuliana to go to a
primary.
Mm-hmm. And why are aldermen from other districts getting involved with elections going on outside their district? I'm sure when Stevie's here, he'd have a earful for us to hear on that one. Alderman in the 8th district, Kevin Matheson, and Alderman Wicklund, who's done a great job. And in the 11th district, Scott Gordon, the incumbent, going against Dino Marchese. In the 12th, which is vacated by Bostrom, who's going to run for the county board, Christopher Belajeff?
Sure. Sounds good to me.
And Mitchell Peterson. Oh, I mean, I've never seen these names. I'm not familiar with the people, and so if I kind of mispronounce your name,
he will even after he knows.
Yeah,
That's okay. Ask Ron.
It's a
ask
treat.
Ron about that.
Oh yeah. Don't ask Ron what his last name is. So, again, we're not endorsing anybody.
Bleepity bleep.
We're just bringing the facts and shoveling it out like we can. And
shoveling it out.
Here was a 262-694-1050. I better read these last sponsors before it was good.
Hey, it's a beautiful day. Concerning that advertising section the news did, I thought you did the writing on that. Some of those jokes sounded kind of like between you and Liz Snyder. You know, you got that style and everything.
Don't compare me to Liz Snyder. Jesus. Is this a crank call because of that? Go ahead.
Listen, I'm thrilled. I talked to you about it privately, and I don't think I've mentioned it on the air, but how thrilled I am that in a community that's doing $180 million a year in tourist dollars, that finally you can use the bathroom at the metro station because of Frank Carmichael and family. And it's going to be interesting to find out how many people that ride the streetcar actually go into his restaurant there and spend some bucks, because supposedly the tourists are spending $180 million a year around here. So if the streetcar's not a tourist attraction, I don't know what is.
Is there a bathroom in the trolley barn? I mean, for the public?
You know, I don't know, man. I mean, if you were in there, I'm sure you could stop and they'd have.
Well, the last time I was there, I was going to a committee meeting, and I just went in the bushes, and I saw some guy out there with some super.
Well, you know, that's
so I was just
illegal,
wondering.
You're not supposed to do that and everything.
You know, we had one of our listeners call in right after 11 o'clock that said he wanted to give us a report on the trolley, and I called the trolley. And he said there was one person, it was the driver, and so the city says they average 19 riders an hour, and I know you concur because your business is like 50 feet from there. The rest of those 30 people might have been midgets, right? Because that's why you don't see them.
Well, also one of your better lines, but I'm glad to see it's on winter hours now, January, February, it's only on Saturday and Sunday, and I think maybe the Sunday thing could be cut back a bit too, if you get my drift. But, by the way, speaking about New Year's Eve, I was amazed how many local citizens are taking advantage of going out earlier because they want to be home by 8 o'clock, because the DUI monster is on everybody's mind, or it should be. And I think a lot of folks in the entertainment business, New Year's Eve, they've kind of cut back on blowing a lot of money because people want to be home at a decent hour.
Oh, I think some of the younger ones, let's say younger meaning under 45, 35, they were out late on New Year's Eve because
I'm sure.
The owner of my office down there says he knows that they had a good time. Somebody knocked over the dumpster and somebody blew ranch out on a table. So that's, hey, Pete was bringing up, when they were selling this extension of the trolley, I didn't hear this, but I'm sure it was true that they were trying to portray this. It would increase the value of your properties. Did you hear that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I didn't hear that, but thank God Pete's here. And so the trolley's been around for at least 10 years. Tell me.
Yep, 10 or 15 years, I guess.
And your place is like 50 feet off of 56 and 6. Tell me in the last, say 3 or 4 years, how many, what a big increase has the trolley made in assessment and value of your property?
Well, it's funny. As I'm standing here by the back door for better reception, and the streetcar's just going past, and lo and behold, there's about 8 people on it. And that is something, that's part of the problem. We don't see that happening very often. And I still contend they've done horrible marketing on it. The outer world doesn't know we have a streetcar. We get people in here from Illinois all the time, and we'll do their alterations while they're awake, and we'll suggest, hey, why don't you take a little ride on the streetcar? We'll buy the ticket for you. And they go, what streetcar? And these are people from, Winthrop Harbor, as an example. They don't know we have a streetcar
system. So we are doing our part, you and I, Pete and Ron, to provide, to increase ridership.
Well, I mean, look at what we did. When we had the caller earlier this hour, he said there was nobody, and now there's 8.
Yeah,
as we talked about it,
I just wish I would see 8 more often than I see nobody but the driver. That's the problem.
But Mike, answer my question.
And I want to be fair about it. If I see people on it, I'll be glad to tell you.
Okay,
guys.
but we don't want to hear that part.
It's paid programming.
Yes, paid programming. We're selective. But answer my question: how much increase did your property value go up because of the streetcar?
Nothing, Scott.
Okay,
nothing.
All right. I just wanted to confirm or deny that. I mean, some things we make up here, but I wanted to be perfectly accurate with that statement.
You got it. Hey, see you later.
All right, I'll be at the office later.
Hey, I got to bring up something, if you don't mind.
Sure.
I don't know if I did the right thing in ignoring this last night, but I did. So I was driving around in one particular part of town. I won't say where. And it was in a city park, and the parking lot had not really been plowed after the ice. But I saw one car in there going around in a circle, and I thought, that's weird. They're going up there. Maybe they got stuck or something. And I look a little closer. Somebody is hooked on to the back of this car.
Oh, God.
And going around in circles. They're either on skates or on some kind of board or something going around. And I'm going, well, that's a lawsuit waiting to happen.
Yeah. Well, that's just plain stupid.
It's stupid. So I ignored it and went on my merry way. But boy,
was this the velodrome? Is that why you
not
don't?
In the velodrome. It's still closed. Fundraising for that, by the way. I'd like to make a donation. I saw that this week. But anyway, so maybe stupid award for the week. But should I have called authorities on these people? I haven't saw that, or
well, when you say lawsuit waiting to happen, I don't know that they can sue the city unless now we're going to have to spend another $100,000 to have a study,
survey,
another $200,000 for a sign to put in every parking lot that says, "Don't do this dumb act, donuts or whatever. Don't do anything stupid. Don't do anything stupid in a city park."
There might already be a sign that says, "Don't do any," essentially, don't do.
That's in the city council chambers.
Well, that law gets broken every week.
They don't buy to that, so what's the difference? 262-694-1050. We've got about 8 minutes left. This was an article out of Concord, New Hampshire. The state Supreme Court upheld a lower court ruling refusing to vacate a couple's 2014 divorce after 24 years of marriage. Apparently, this couple appealed their divorce decree, saying it was erroneous because they mended fences and are a couple once more. But the high justices said, forget that. When the gavel comes down and the law specifically allows them to grant divorces, not undo them. Where was this thing? What are these people thinking? You get divorced, this is your out, right, Ronnie?
Well, can't they just get remarried?
Well, that's what I'm thinking.
Right? Like, what are you doing?
Have to undo a divorce. Man, I've never heard anything like that, but I live a sheltered life. Good morning. Good morning. You're on Kenosha Today.
Good morning, Scott. How you doing?
Good. Who's this?
Woody.
Oh, Woody, what's up?
Not much. I just want to wish you guys a happy New Year, and hope you guys had a good New Year. And I'm looking forward to a great year and listening to you guys again for another year.
Oh God. Hey, Woody. When we had our thing down at your Veterans Day down at your place, we had great singers, great music.
Yes, we did.
Now, you seem to be a good judge of talent. Here's our, I don't know if you heard this, but we are going to be singing our group, Billy Goat and the Four Milkers, at the Super Bowl halftime performance.
Oh, cool.
Now, but here was our audition tape, and I just want you to think about this open-mindedly, and don't judge it too quick, because it's about 20, 30 seconds, okay?
Well, sometimes
Carry on, Tom. Carry on. Carry on.
I go out by myself.
Carry on, Tom. Carry on.
Since I call home, when my body's been a mess, and I miss your ginger, and the way you like to dress. Won't you come over? Stop making all
I can honestly tell you, by a clear mile, you are the worst singer we have had.
Here's the big finish. Big finish.
All right, then.
Come on now, that's beautiful. I disagree with Simon. Can I book you guys at the Legion?
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
We'd like to play inside where it's warm, not out in the parking lot, though.
Definitely, I'll have to. I'll put you inside.
Hey, speaking of that, are you is that part under different ownership now? It's not the DMZ Lounge, right?
No, we call it the American Legion Bar now.
Okay, so we have an opportunity to go in there and sing, huh?
Yeah, you do. Yeah, it's under new management.
So what you'll book us through you, or?
Oh yeah, you can book me through me, or you can call the bar and book definitely have you guys in there. That'll be a big. That'll be huge.
What hours are you open?
9 in the morning till close.
When do you close?
Legal time, 1 during the week, 2 on the weekend.
9 in the morning. We'll probably start at 8:55 and be out of there about 8:59.
That'd be great.
Yeah. Okay, Woody.
We'll pack them in.
All right.
All right, guys.
Thanks.
Have a good New Year.
All right, you too.